5 at Sunrise.
The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Tuesday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And it feels like a bit of a change in the air this morning, a bit breezy out there.
Yeah, a little breezy. Still, as always, it's a cool start, a dry start, though. But some areas waking up some fog. We have to budget that as you head out the door this morning. In fact, a live look in Oneonta. In fact, in the process of looking at this in the past several minutes, the fog has cleared up a little bit. We can actually see some of the town out there in the distance. Actually see parts of Hartwick College here. A few minutes ago, this was completely covered. But still, we got some fog to deal with in the Southern Valleys. A heads up for that. Temperatures this morning ranging in the 50s, 40s, and of course, as always, Saranac Lake in the low, or at least the mid 30s this morning. So, depending on location, still it's a rather cool start to your day. Radar is dry. As always, this has been just a completely dry stretch of weather, or at least a very dry stretch of weather for the past several days. And still a gorgeous day today, lots of sunshine, low humidity. We have the latest information on rain chances tomorrow. I mentioned yesterday that there's a low pressure moving up the coast. Will it impact us, at least notably with rain? We'll have the details on that. Plus, will there be a stellar weekend ahead? I know we are entering a lot of fall-type seasonal events heading into the weekends in September. Weddings as well. We'll have a look at that weekend forecast, too, coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Breaking overnight large.
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back, everybody, to Sunrise on this morning. Time now is 5:13 as you head out to work today. It just feels like it's the same story, right? Isn't it? Almost as if we're in the twilight zone or something. We have just consistent, quiet weather to start, some patchy fog, dry weather, and then a beautiful afternoon. In fact, here's a look at our quad cameras here across central New York. We have, of course, Oneonta, a little foggy down there. So far, not too bad visibility-wise in Cooperstown, but some of that fog is creeping its way north. It's fog-free in Utica, as you can take a look from our tower cam and see plenty of the city lights out here from our vantage point here on Smith Hill and Deerfield. So that fog, again, it's scattered, it's not widespread, but still just a heads up. You might run into that on your morning commute today. We are pretty much in fog season, usually when we enter late summer, early fall. Traffic tracker showing plenty of green, no accidents to report early today. And as you head out to work, again, got some areas of scattered fog this afternoon. That fog lifts, plenty of sunshine, a beautiful day expected today. Now, again, there is some rain chances tomorrow. We'll have a look at the latest trends on that, if it's trending more dry or more rainy in that full forecast. Gary?
Thanks, fall colors and local history. The Southern Adirondack.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. On this Tuesday, we are looking at a lot of sunshine and some gorgeous weather again today, which is, I guess you should say, not a bad problem to have with several days of dry weather. But again, we do need the rain. Still, though, sunshine's not too bad. A live look in Old Forge this morning, showcasing some of that fog. So a heads up, those of you in the Adirondacks and especially in the southern valleys near Oneonta is where that fog is focused on. For now, looking at the latest data from the satellite feeds, it looks like that's really the main spots that fog is located. You head in the Mohawk Valley, that fog is not really that present. 49 degrees of temperature in Old Forge early today. In fact, some of the local temperatures were in the low 50s and upper 40s. Here in the Mohawk Valley, 50 in Westmoreland, 50 in Deansboro to the south, 48 in Hamilton, 47 Cooperstown, and 52 degrees in Oneonta. Here's a live look at that area of low pressure down south of the northeast toward Virginia and North Carolina. This is expected to produce some rainfall along the Atlantic coast, cutting it close for us. And the latest trends have this rainfall pretty much missing us. I don't think we're going to see anything more than maybe a brief shower south of Route 20, which is more dry than what we were expecting yesterday. So for the most part, expect dry weather tomorrow. Stray shower, though, can't be ruled out. Now, this week so far, fall foliage starting to be a little bit more vibrant, especially in the Adirondacks and the Catskills. Now, a lot of the green area here, yes, there are pockets of vibrant colors, but there's still plenty of green here. So we're going to see that yellow on this map here begin to engulf more of this map, obviously, as the week progresses. But for now, here's the latest on that fall foliage report. Still, tropics looking pretty active out here, especially just along the basin here in the mid-Atlantic. There's a high chance of formation of this red zone right here, but this is expected to hook out to sea. This will not impact us here on the East Coast. Our Skycast shows plenty of sun today. Clouds increase this evening and tonight. And then watch what happens tomorrow. You can see here, maybe a stray shower south of Route 20, but besides that, there's just barely any energy for that rain to continue north. So it does fall apart. Clouds are persistent early Thursday morning. By the afternoon, plenty of sunshine moves its way back in again. 7-day forecast, you've got sunshine on your Thursday evening. Friday, so far looking mostly dry. Morning cold front moves through. We'll closely watch that for rain potential. But then as we head into the weekend, so far it's looking pleasant. Now it is going to be a little bit on the chilly side. If you call 68 chilly, maybe long sleeve shirt weather or sweater weather there Saturday morning. But by the afternoon, or at least on Sunday, we're in the 70s. Dry weather the key here, so weekend events so far looking very nice.
Well, you bring nothing but good news.
I try my best.
Eric, thanks. The time right now is 5:21. And once again, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Libitor. As you head outside this morning, it might feel just a little bit cooler than it's been in the past few days. Meteorologist Eric Gage joining us now. And Eric, I think it's the breeze out there that makes it feel a little cooler.
Yeah, a little breezy. It's still clear out in a lot of spots too, so those temperatures have free fallen quickly. In fact, some other spots that aren't seeing clear skies are seeing this common sight. Now, tell me, Oneonta, the last time you haven't had a foggy morning. Well, it's been so foggy down there every single day here, at least in the morning hours. Here's another morning out there with some foggy conditions. Now, we take a look at the other areas across central New York. We are in the 50s in the Mohawk Valley, 30s up in the Adirondacks, and 40s in the southern valleys. That's pretty much the general temperature trend so far. And as Gary mentioned, yeah, a little bit of a northwesterly breeze here right now is going to keep things a little bit on the cool side. Radar is dry early today. We aren't looking at any rainfall. In fact, plenty of sunshine. Downright gorgeous day today. Now, we are still tracking some rainfall chances tomorrow. There are some new updates on that with the latest data coming in early this morning on the path of a coastal low that would be providing that rainfall. And then following that, how is this weekend looking? I know we enter late September, early fall, a lot of outdoor events planned, taking advantage of gorgeous fall weather here in central New York. We'll have the details on that weekend forecast as well coming up in a few minutes. Gary.
Hey, Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away each morning. Charges are expected to be...
News Channel 2 is brought to you by Holland Farms Bakery and Deli.
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back to Sunrise, everybody. On this Tuesday morning, our photo of the day today takes us to Oneonta. And a great photo right here of the morning twilight taken again in Oneonta. Look at that scene right there. Silhouette of the trees and the glow of the sunset or sunrise in the distance. I believe it's a sunset there, but amazing photo submitted to us on our website. If you have a photo you'd like to share like this one, send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics for a chance. Have your photo featured right here every day on News Channel 2 at sunrise. So today's weather, overall, quiet as always. It's a cool start. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s. Some spots in the Adirondacks down into the 30s. Now this afternoon, we're in the 70s. Plenty of sun, beautiful afternoon. We are tracking some rain chances tomorrow, but there are some updates on that path of that rainfall. We're going to break that down coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Did you know plogging came to Utica?
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Plenty of sunshine expected today, just like yesterday, but this morning, some locations waking up to a little bit of fog. We take a look in Old Forge, up in the North Country this morning, where it is a little foggy up there. Some other spots, again, down in Oneonta, Southern Valleys. Mohawk Valley, relatively fog-free. Temperature up north, 49. Mohawk Valley in the low 50s. Bigger picture here shows us an area of low pressure along the Atlantic coast. This is going to produce some rainfall as we head into tomorrow along the New York City, Boston area, along the New England coast. But as it tries to push its way north, it begins to fall apart. So when it comes to rainfall tomorrow, it's not really that impressive. I think maybe a stray shower south of Route 20, but the rain chances have since lowered since we first told you about it yesterday, even over the weekend, of that potential shower. So it is trending more dry, and while we are still seeing dry weather, that's helping the fall foliage. Sunny, warm days and cool overnight lows are what produce the best vibrant colors in the fall season. And as you can see here, there's a lot more yellow on this map. Some color extending throughout much of the Adirondacks and the Catskills, right around 20 to 15% coverage of foliage so far, between 5 and 10% in some patches here in the Mohawk Valley. So it's not all little to no color, but still we enter the rest this week into the next weekend, and I do expect to see this yellow zone extend farther in the lower elevations. And while weather is quiet, figured I'd talk about the tropical outlook at least. It's been a very quiet hurricane season aside from the one that narrowly missed the Northeast, the one that hit the Outer Banks of North Carolina. As you can see here, there's a 90% chance of this zone here forming into a hurricane over the next 7 days, but it's expected to hook out to sea. It is not expected to make landfall here in the U.S. Our Skycast showing us plenty of sun today, highs in the 70s. Tonight, lows in the 50s and some spots 40s. Clouds increase, and then we could see a stray shower south of Route 20. If you're in Otsego or Chenango County, you might see a stray drizzle tomorrow. But then by tomorrow night, it does dry up. Clouds early Thursday, sunshine Thursday afternoon as those clouds decrease, and overall looks pretty quiet heading into the weekend. Cold front moves in Friday in the morning. We'll watch the rain chances there, but so far looking very little, if any. And then we'll see sunshine continue into the weekend. A little cooler, though, highs in the upper 60s Saturday, lower 70s on Sunday, but either way, it's a dry weekend, low humidity, and have any outdoor plans, you got some great weather for it.
That's for sure. Another great weekend here in central New York.
Of course.
Keep it rolling. Congresswoman Elise Stefanik says legislation
The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Tuesday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And I don't know about you, but it felt a little cooler this morning than it has been.
Yeah, a little cool out there. The skies are clear, maybe a little bit of a breeze too, adding to that as well. But for the most part, it's still a quiet morning. It's been so quiet, a sunny afternoon, but if you take a look at Oneonta, some of us not seeing entirely clear skies. Here's a look in Oneonta here with that fog. Still in parts of the southern tier, mainly toward the Binghamton area and heading up north in the Adirondacks. As you head closer to Albany, there is one small section of the Mohawk Valley that is developing some fog right now, but as you head closer to the main towns, Herkimer, Little Falls, Mohawk, so far the fog really not all that prevalent. Temperature this morning, 51 in Rome, 36, a little cooler up in Saranac Lake, and in the 40s as you head down into the southern valleys. So it's a quiet, cool morning with a few lingering areas of clouds. Radar is dry, and it's expected to remain dry for the entire day today. You got gorgeous weather expected. We do have some updates on the rainfall chances tomorrow. We'll let you know if it's going to be a bit more of a rainy one or if it's trending more on the dry side. And on top of that, could we see a stellar weekend ahead? It's the early, or I should say late summer, early fall trend, and usually this time of year there's a lot of outdoor events planned. We'll let you know exactly we're going to expect for this coming weekend in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Breaking overnight, large plumes of smoke.
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Foggy scene down there in Oneonta, or out there in Cooperstown, I should say. Here's a look at what you can expect as you head out to work early today on the commute cast this morning. We first take a look at some cameras, and not only is Cooperstown foggy, so is Oneonta, Old Forge, those areas north and south of the Mohawk Valley. We take a look at Utica. It's relatively fog-free from our vantage point here on Smith Hill here in Deerfield. So visibility-wise, yeah, some pockets down to 2 miles in Hamilton, 9 miles in Binghamton, so well south of us, and 2 miles up in Watertown. Traffic tracker showing mainly quiet conditions. There is a report, though, that just came in of an accident right along Route 12, heading closer to Route 49 here. Basically, what appears to be right along the arterial on the northbound lane. So I'm assuming it's coming from the arterial heading toward 790. So we're going to see if we get more information on that. But for now, again, just a heads up for this accident here along the arterial. So today, we start out with some fog, temperatures in the 50s and 40s. This afternoon, the fog lifts, sunshine moves in, and temperatures climb into the 70s. Gorgeous weather. As always, the past few days have been so pleasant, but will there be rain showers tomorrow that disrupts it? We'll have the details straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Fall colors and local history. The Southern
Storm Tracker 2 team, where we track storms. The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Before we get to that forecast, I want to give you an update on that accident we told you about a few moments ago. Let's take a look at the traffic tracker this morning. Zooming in to add some context where this accident is. Again, this took place according to the information we have around 5:21. So if this is nothing serious, then this should already be over and done with here. But this was along the northbound area right near the 790 ramp. So I'm assuming this little section right here. So that's where that accident again took place. And again, it took place in right around 5:21 this morning. So probably about an hour since then. If it's not serious, again, things should be moving pretty steadily in that area. A live look at Old Forge this morning, a foggy start, temperature hitting the 50-degree mark in the higher elevations up north. Bigger picture shows quiet weather here today, but to our south, you've got this rain shower, and this looks promising, right? This moves north, we could see some beneficial rain. Well, not quite. This is going to continue to move its way north, and it's just going to fall apart as it hooks its way east. So, due to high pressure right over us, we're not going to see a whole lot in terms of rainfall from this, little if any, as a matter of fact. And while the weather remains dry, that'll impact the fall foliage. So we have a few things that's going for and against the season this year. To start, here's a look at the foliage report with all the latest images, pictures, and reports from across the New York State area. Some color between 15 and 20% in the yellow area, 5 to 10% coverage or color change in the areas in green. So what is supporting vibrant colors here? Well, the dry weather, the sunshine, the warmer conditions in the daytimes, and the cooler, not freezing overnight lows. So what's the drawback? Well, it's been so dry beforehand that because we're still seeing dry weather, it's causing the leaves to drop early. So just a heads up when it comes to this season that we could see some vibrant colors, but some of these leaves already dropping early due to that lack of rainfall. So today, 70s, sunshine. Tonight, clouds increase, and watch what happens tomorrow. Again, that rainfall barely reaching the southern valleys. It's trending more dry than we expected yesterday. So when it comes to rainfall chances heading into tomorrow, don't expect anything aside from a stray shower in Otsego and Chenango counties. Sunshine moves in again on Thursday after some morning clouds. Friday, a cold front moves through in the early morning hours. That'll produce some cooler weather throughout the day, sunshine in the afternoon, and even more sunshine as we head into Saturday and Sunday. Cooler weather, but for the weekend, it's looking gorgeous.
I think we have to be in some sort of record with the number of days, at least some sunshine here in the Mohawk Valley.
We'll have to look into it, too, because unfortunately we don't have the cloud data for how cloudy it's been, but when it comes to dry weather, we have that.
Yeah, Eric, thanks. Well, as the temperatures cool, so do prices for air once again, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore. Get ready for another nice day here in September. It is a broken record, isn't it, Eric?
Yeah, I feel like it's been like the same day just on repeat, you know. But either way, I mean, it's sunny out. It's going to be a great afternoon, so I'm not complaining. This morning, though, we take a look at Oneonta. It is a foggy start to the day. Bit difficult to see the city out here right now with the view from our camera on Hartwick College. Temperatures this morning ranging in the low 50s in the lower elevations, into the 40s in the southern valleys. Parts of the Adirondacks dipping into the 30s. Now, it's a cooler start today. It's a dry start. And as we head throughout the afternoon, expect plenty of sun. Just a downright gorgeous afternoon throughout the entire day. As we head into tomorrow, though, there is a chance of a rain shower as a low pressure system moves up the Atlantic coast. We're going to track where the latest trends are with that rainfall, if we're going to see anything notable or if it's going to fall apart even more compared to the data we saw yesterday. Following that, though, how is the weekend shaping up? I know it's fall or approaching fall after this weekend, and there's a lot of outdoor events taking advantage of this gorgeous weather we see here this time of year. We'll let you know how the weekend shapes up, again, and all those rain chances for tomorrow in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away each morning. Charges are expected.
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Little foggy in Cooperstown this morning. Good morning, everybody. Our photo of the day today takes us a little farther south to Oneonta. This shot right here of some twilight in Oneonta. Look at this, a vibrant view right here of the silhouette of the tree line, the archway. Looks to be like a cabin of some sort facing that hillside there, too. And just downright gorgeous scene of that twilight there out in the distance. If you have a photo like this you'd like to share with us, showcasing your neck of the woods, send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics for the chance to have your photo featured right here on News Channel 2 at sunrise every morning. So this morning, weather so far mainly quiet. Again, you saw that fog in Cooperstown early today. That's the most impacts we're going to see right now. Temperatures are currently in the 40s and 50s, cooler as you head up into the Adirondacks in the 30s as well. So it's a cold start, a warm afternoon, plenty of sun, rain chances as we head into tomorrow. Will they be higher or lower than we anticipated yesterday? We'll have the details on that coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Well, did you know plogging came to Utica?
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Before we get to that forecast, a traffic alert to pass along the arterial. We mentioned there was one that was closer to the 790 exit earlier this morning. This one is right in the center of Utica, right in that section there, heading through between Burstone Road and Court Street. There's a stalled vehicle right in the middle of the intersection, which is clogging traffic all the way back here. So if you're heading out along the arterial this morning, be expected to wait a little bit longer as it's reduced to one lane, again, due to that stalled vehicle. It's currently going on right now. We're going to have video coming up in just a few minutes showcasing what's going on here. But again, a stalled vehicle is in the middle of the intersection. Back to the forecast, though. We got some foggy conditions to start your day in Old Forge and in Oneonta. Plenty of sunshine, though, in the Mohawk Valley. Temperatures ranging in the 40s and 50s. And as we look at the bigger picture, we got this massive area of rainfall, and it looks promising, right? It's moving up the coast. Could we see some beneficial rain? Well, still, it's not looking impressive. In fact, it's looking even more dry than we thought yesterday. As that low pressure moves out sooner, high pressure is strong enough to prevent that rain from really producing anything notable here locally. So because of that, weather remains mostly dry, with the exception of an isolated shower south, which I'll show it here momentarily. But switching gears to the fall foliage, still, with how dry it's been, these trees are changing colors early, potentially dropping leaves early. But still, with the warm days and the cool, crisp nights, it's allowing those leaves to really start to change, especially in the Adirondacks and in the Catskills, between 15 and 20% changing so far. In the green area, mainly between 5, maybe 10% leaf changing in those sections there. So today it's sunny, it's dry, temperatures are in the 70s. Tonight, we're in the 50s and 40s. Now, we're going to see those clouds increase tomorrow. And as I mentioned, rain chances primarily focused in Otsego and Chenango County. And those chances, little if any. You head up into the Mohawk Valley and north, those shower chances almost non-existent. And then following that, it does dry up entirely for our area, heading into early Thursday morning. Lingering clouds turns to sunshine by Thursday afternoon with high temperatures in the upper 70s. So this week, nothing really notable in terms of rainfall. Following Thursday, a cold front moves through Thursday night into Friday. That might produce a rain shower, but for now it doesn't look that impressive. Then it cools down even more, heading into Saturday, 60s, a temperature 70s as we head into Sunday. Some slightly warmer conditions too, but overall lots of sunshine, and this overall dry pattern continues as we enter our first days of fall, which I believe, yes, it would be Monday next week. Not put on the 70 yet. Monday next week is our first day of fall, Gary. Can't believe it.
Yeah, it's going to feel like summer.
Yep.
Eric, thanks. Well, Congressman Elise Stefanik, meteorologist Eric Gay joining us now. And Eric, another spectacular mid-September day.
Yeah, I mean, the sun keeps shining. It's just a gorgeous afternoon. You couldn't ask for nicer late summer weather. But again, you know, how much sunshine would be too much, yeah. Let's take a look at what's going on out there right now. We have a view of Oneonta. You have some of those wispy high-level clouds. These are from a coastal low, which is currently, or at least they were producing, some rain showers in Philadelphia. Now it's since been under generally cloudy skies for Philly, as well as down in New York City. But here in central New York, we have bountiful sunshine. 70s, mid-70s in Rome, cooler in the southern valleys, still in the low 70s heading up in the Adirondacks. We zoom in even closer here, 76 Westmoreland, 71 Little Falls, 69 up north in Dolgeville, 68 Cooperstown and Oneonta, and 72 degrees over in Norwich. So the next 12 hours call for plenty of sun, but those clouds to our south are going to slowly approach, and that could be our next shot for rainfall. So what we're tracking today, and I'll have more details coming up on the latest info with the rainfall potential tomorrow, if it's trending more on the dry side or the damp side. Plus, That rainfall deficit, how far behind are we? Details straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Tyler Robinson.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. A beautiful day across the area here on this Tuesday. Let's take a look outside in downtown Utica, where right now it's sunny to the southeast where this camera is pointing. You notice that cloud layer out there again, as I mentioned at the top of the hour. That's that approaching low pressure from the southwest. Now for now, it's sunny, technically muggy, dew point in the upper 50s, but at least compared to usual, this is a very comfortable level right here. A south wind is what's adding in some of that humidity across the area. So here's that low pressure system producing that cloud cover, and it is going to move its way north, but as much as it tries to reach our area, a lot of that rainfall will not hit our, at least much of central New York. A few stray showers could impact Otsego and Chenango County, but for the most part, that rainfall really not that impressive. In the meantime, here is a look at our map of percentage of normal precipitation for the past month. As you can see here, we are lagging behind big time, especially heading into the hills of Pennsylvania and down toward Virginia and West Virginia. Let's head throughout the summer season, 120 days. You can still see here, we're roughly just over 50% compared to average here. And let's just go back for the entire year. So this entire year, we're about 75% of that normal precipitation. So despite how dry it's been, we're not lagging that far behind overall due to how wet the spring and winter were. So yes, we are still very, very dry this season. There's no doubt about it. But compared to the year, we're just lagging behind slightly compared to this past January. So when it comes to rainfall, again, nothing expected today. Tonight, it's dry. Clouds increase. Tomorrow morning, your morning commute, a little cloudy, especially south and east of Utica. Then, as you head south of Route 20, that's where those highest rain chances are, near Norwich and Oneonta. And then following that, the rainfall just kind of sputters out. That high pressure over us is going to keep things mainly dry, and then conditions are going to gradually dry up, or at least clear out by Thursday afternoon with clouds turning to sunshine. A beautiful Thursday on tap. As we head into Thursday evening, we're going to see this front approaching from the northwest. This could fire up a stray shower overnight into early Friday, but then we do dry out as we head throughout Friday afternoon with more sunshine arriving and some cooler temperatures here. This weekend, cooler in the 60s, upper 60s, and low 70s. And then, here we go. First day of fall is now on our 7-day, less than a week away of the changing season, and it still does not look like we're going to see any true fall-like weather. This warmth continues. The sunshine, for the most part, continues. Yes, we have some rain chances toward the end of the month, but this month so far has just been so abnormally dry. Maybe not abnormally sunny, but it has been very sunny. Still, Gary, it's just gorgeous weather to enjoy the outdoors.
And fall is in the 7-day.
It's coming.
Wow. Doesn't look like it with all that sun and high temperatures, but it's coming. Eric, thanks. Well, did you know meteorologist Eric Gage joining us now. And Eric, just a couple of days difference. Boy, it was green just 2 days ago, wasn't it?
I know, lots of green, and before you know it, these colors pop up with a snap of a finger. Let's take a look at what's going on there in Oneonta. And earlier we were talking about the skies. This time we're going to look at what's below that sky into the trees, where, yes, there are a couple areas on the this side of the image here which look to be already, looks like they dropped their leaves, but there are still some muted colors out in the distance. Maybe some rust colors, some gold colors, but for the most part, it's not really that vibrant just yet. Give it a few days, we're going to see these changes begin to take place. Now, when it comes to the conditions right now, we are looking at temperatures in the 70s, mid-70s in a lot of the area. And then following that, Another nice day tomorrow. But these clouds that are increasing behind me right here turn to generally overcast, if not mostly cloudy skies tomorrow, and the chance for a shower in the southern valleys, including potentially right here in Oneonta. We're going to talk about those rain chances, plus, again, dive into how far behind we are on rainfall in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Robert Redford, the
WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. Plenty of sun here on this Tuesday. It's a beautiful day out there, but will this be all we'll see in terms of beautiful weather this week? Well, let's take a look at what goes on outside in downtown Utica right now. A lot more colors starting to change in the trees right there along Risking Boulevard. You notice again those clouds out in the distance, that approaching low pressure, which is going to bring a few more clouds overnight and into tomorrow, and some increased chances for rainfall. Not a lot, but still, this might impact some of you, especially south of Route 20. Here's where it is right now, right impacting parts of Virginia, New Jersey, southern Pennsylvania, near sections of Philadelphia here. And it's going to move its way north, but it's going to fizzle out and fall apart as it moves its way east. High pressure is still pretty dominant here, and that's going to prevent that rainfall from really impacting us here locally. That's some much needed rainfall, by the way. Here's a look at how much we are behind average in terms of rainfall just this month. Those bright red areas, between 5 and 25% below. Now, where Utica is right now, we are in that 25 to 50% range for the month of September. Let's go back through the entire summer season. We're just a little over half of the normal rain we usually see in a typical summertime. And if we go back even farther to the entire year, you notice it's really not that big of a difference due to the fact that how wet winter and spring was. But still, I mean, just compared to what it is this month, it is still very, very dry, and it's not looking like we're going to see any beneficial, sustained rain anytime soon. Our skycast today shows lots of sunshine, of course. Yes, we need the rainfall, but we're not complaining if it's 70s and sunny out. Then by tonight, it's going to fall into the 40s and 50s. Clouds increase. Your morning commute tomorrow starting out a little cloudy, but it's going to be dry. It's when we head into the afternoon. Watch these stray showers survive their way into parts of Shenango, Otsego, maybe even Madison County. Again, a lot of this rainfall chance falling south of Route 20. Then by Wednesday night, the rainfall chances begin to end. Clouds, which still linger into Thursday morning, will slowly exit by Thursday afternoon. It's going to be a beautiful day Thursday. As we head into Thursday night, we have a system approaching from the west, a cold front coming in. And as you can see here, rainfall chances still not that high. So we're going to be seeing maybe a stray shower early Friday morning. It will dry up throughout Friday afternoon, plenty of sun. And then we're going to see, for our final weekend of summertime, a beautiful weekend. We've got upper 60s, a little cold on Saturday, but plenty of sun, a little warmer on Sunday. Still plenty of sunshine. Then our first day of fall, which happens on a Monday this week, highs in the upper 70s. Not very fall-like, but still a beautiful stretch of weather beyond this weekend and into the start of next week. Gary?
Eric, thanks. We are back with news.
Forecast with meteorologist James DeFazio.
Yes.
Another beautiful day out there.
Another beautiful day, and we're going to see a little bit of change for tomorrow. The one change is we're going to see a lot more cloud cover. We have seen several consecutive days of sunshine. We're now tracking clouds to be working in overnight tonight. As you can see across downtown Utica, we've gone from mostly sunny to partly sunny, and we're going to continue this gradual increase in clouds overnight tonight towards tomorrow morning. Temperatures around the region very, very warm tonight. We're in the upper 70s to low 80s across central New York, both in the North Country and in the southern tier. Very, very comfortable conditions. The drought has gotten moderate. It continues to get worse and worse. We continue to forecast more and more dry weather. This will update tomorrow, and I expect this to be almost entirely filled with plenty of color. This evening, temperatures remain very pleasant. It's going to be a warm evening. Temperatures in the mid to upper 70s with mostly sunny skies. Tonight, We're not nearly as chilly. Now, no frost chances with partly to mostly cloudy skies. Lows only in the mid-50s for Utica and Rome. Coming up, we're going to take a look at our very few and far between rainfall chances. Jason, Kristen.
All right, James, thank you. Some days she's Mother Goose.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Tuesday evening. It's another fantastic day of weather across Central New York. As you can see off the tower cam, though, clouds have increased. We're not seeing that widespread sunshine like we saw this time yesterday, and we're going to continue to see cloud coverage slowly increase overnight tonight. This evening, partly sunny skies, and then overnight tonight, it will become mostly cloudy ahead of an approaching system for tomorrow, which I'm going to show you in just a moment. 81 degrees, which is the high for the day at this current time, and sunny skies up at Griffith and Rome, and dew point all the way down at 53 degrees. A large spread between the dew point and the temperature, making for very comfortable conditions, and just a very light breeze out of the south-southeast. This is a map that's got a lot of colors on here. There's a lot to see on here. This is the deviation from the percent of normal precipitation that we normally receive. I have this set on for the last month. We are about 40 to 50%, we've received about 40 to 50% of the amount of rainfall that we typically receive over the last month. If I try to adjust this, we'll see if this will work for me here. I'm going to try the 6 month here. Well, not going to work for me, but we'll show you guys that later in the full weather. We'll get this, I just want to show you that the main thing that we were taken away from looking at the rainfall data is that we have been very, very dry since mid-June. Before that, though, it was so wet during the first half of the year that we're really not behind in terms of rainfall for the entirety of the year. It doesn't change the fact that we're in a very moderate drought right now, and that's going to continue. And these warm temperatures that are forecast through the end of September are going to continue to fuel that fire of enhancing the drought. Quite a bit of color out there. We have only the Adirondacks and the Catskills currently in some color, but there is trees beginning to show color all across central New York. Fall is beginning a little bit earlier than normal this year. Dry weather continues on your York Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, at least through the night tonight. We're hoping that that changes tomorrow. That would change due to this area of low pressure. It's going to lift northward. However, it's going to encounter high pressure as it works into our area, and the high pressure erodes the showers as it works across central New York. We only see a couple of very light rain showers. Tonight, clouds increase overnight. We go from partly to mostly cloudy. Tomorrow morning, a couple of sprinkles across the southern tier. This is really going to be the extent of the rainfall. Possibly a light shower across Otsego, Shenango County. Isolated shower chance south of Route 20. But again, most of us see all dry weather, and it's not a significant rainfall. Tonight, mostly clear. No frost chances, lows right around 54 degrees. A look at your 7-day forecast. Mostly cloudy tomorrow with that chance of an isolated shower south of Route 20. Partly to mostly sunny skies for the remainder of the week. A very comfortable weekend. A little bit of chilly after a backdoor cold front on Thursday into Friday. But pleasant, warm weather returns as we head into next week. And I do want to make a highlight here. I made a mistake here on the 7-day. The Mohawk Valley Gives is Friday, and fall, the first day of fall, is Monday. So we'll get that fixed for you.
Let's blow it up and start again.
Yeah, I'll fix the 7-day.
All right, thanks, James. James DeFazio for a look at the forecast.
We are tracking another beautiful evening. We're hoping for some showers tomorrow, but before we get to that, let's talk about our furry friends. Take a look at our featured dog tonight, Caesar Wilson from Whitesboro. He's a cutie. He got his face plopped on the ground there. Very cute. It's a great night for a dog walk. A little warm right now. We're in the upper 70s. Some of us even still hanging on to low 80s. But it will cool off. By 7 o'clock, we're down into the mid 70s. By 8 p.m., upper 60s. Comfortable weather settles in for overnight. We're tracking increasing clouds tonight ahead of a low pressure, area of low pressure that's working in our direction. There's the chance from that low pressure of a light shower Wednesday. And then, unfortunately, for the long haul, dry weather continues. We continue to track dry weather. Again, temperatures around the area range anywhere from the mid-70s all the way up to around 80 degrees. Coming up, we're going to break down that low pressure that is approaching from us and why we're going to see just a little bit of rainfall tomorrow afternoon. Jason, Kristen?
All right, thanks, James. 100 days until Christmas.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Tuesday evening. It was another beautiful day across Central New York, and we're going to see plenty more beautiful days over the upcoming week. We are tracking an area of low pressure that's going to work close to our area. It's not going to work into our area. It will affect our weather a little bit. As you can see, we don't have that widespread sunshine, those bright blue skies that we had at this time yesterday or even this morning. We've gone from mostly sunny over to partly cloudy, and that's going to continue. That trend will continue overnight tonight. The clouds haven't quite reached Rome just yet. Still sunny skies at Griffiths and Rome, 81 degrees still. That is the high for the day at this time. Comfortable levels of humidity with the dew point all the way down in the 50s. This is a map of our average amount, or I should say our deviation from the percent of normal rainfall that we should have received within the last, I have it on within the last, this is set on just for within the last month. We've only gotten about half. Even if I extended this back to, I meant to show you the last 60 days. The last 60 days, 40 to 50% of what we normally would average over those 60 days. That, combined with the very warm weather that we've had over those 60 days, has helped exacerbate the drought and has helped us get into moderate drought stage very quickly. Continue to be favorable for above average temperatures through the end of September, which is going to allow for some great opportunities to do some leaf peeping. There's already a good amount of color across the Adirondacks as well as the Catskills, but even in the areas that aren't necessarily highlighted here, some of the hilltops, both north and south of Utica, are still showing plenty of color. The leaves are turning earlier this year than normal. Your Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, quiet, dry, and it stays that way through the night tonight and hopefully changes for a little while tomorrow afternoon. We're tracking this area of low pressure off of the coast of North Carolina. It's going to move northward overnight tonight, and it's going to get close to our area. It's going to get stalled right off the coast of New Jersey and then move eastward. We're going to have a couple of showers on the very, very fringe of our viewing area, but because it's battling high pressure, which continues to drive our weather, we're seeing more dry weather than wet weather. These showers are really going to dissipate as they work into our area. Clear skies tonight. Clouds do increase overnight. I shouldn't have said clear skies. Partly cloudy skies turn to mostly cloudy skies by tomorrow morning. Lows not too cold, a mild night, lows in the mid-50s. Tomorrow afternoon, again, a couple of these light showers, an isolated shower possible south of Route 20. Aside from that, though, we really continue to see nothing but dry weather. Tonight, mostly clear. Again, not very chilly at all. No freeze risk. 54 degrees for low for Utica and Rome. A look at the 7-day forecast. I finally have everything in correct position now. Slight isolated shower risk Wednesday afternoon. Beautiful weather on Thursday with highs in the mid to upper 70s. A tad cooler after a cold front works through Friday morning for Friday and Saturday, but the pleasant weather continues into the start of fall, as does the warm weather.
With meteorologist James DeFazio.
Wash, rinse, and repeat, it seems. It's another beautiful day across central New York. We had plenty of sunshine and warm temperatures yet again today. The one difference, we're seeing a little bit more cloud coverage tonight. Last night we had very blue skies. We're over to partly cloudy conditions at this point, and that's going to continue this evening. Temperatures, though, continue to be very warm and above average for this time of year. We are in the upper 70s to low 80s across central New York, the southern tier, low to mid 70s. Very, very warm weather has settled in. Our big story continues to be drought, and we're continuing to track the drought monitor, which gets updated weekly on Thursdays. This will be updated tomorrow, and this is going to show much, much more drought conditions across central New York. Conditions have really gotten worse over the last couple of weeks. We continue to see dry weather, and we continue to see no drought-busting rainfall in the forecast. Tonight, though, beautiful conditions, mid to upper 70s with mostly sunny skies. Coming up, we will break down the few little chance we do have for a little bit of rain tomorrow. Kristen, Jason?
James, thank you. Happening tomorrow.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Tuesday evening. As you can see off the Cabby Tower cam there, we've had plenty of sunshine, but clouds are beginning to work into our region. Even on the downtown Utica cam, we're still seeing partly sunny skies as opposed to almost mostly to entirely sunny skies like we saw last night. And we're going to continue to see cloud coverage slowly continue to increase as we head towards tomorrow morning. 79 degrees with sunny skies up at Griffiths and Rome. We had a high of 81 degrees a short time ago. Dew point remains all the way down in the mid-50s. It's a tad muggy, but not overly muggy. It's near comfortable. I believe if that dew point were to drop 1 degree, that the label there would consider that comfortable. I want to show you our percent of normal precipitation and how much we have deviated from that. Over the last 60 days, we have gotten about 40 to 50% of what we would normally have received. So we have gotten about a little less than half of the amount of rainfall that we expect over the last 2 months. And that, combined with how warm of a summer we've had, has helped exacerbate our drought conditions. Unfortunately, dry weather looks to continue for a few more weeks. We don't see any drought-busting rainfall, and we continue to see above-average temperatures through the end of September and possibly even into the first week of October. Your fall foliage report, we are beginning to see some color all across central New York. We do have 2 areas highlighted that are showing the most. That would be the Catskills as well as the Adirondacks. But if you were to take a ride up north or south of Utica, you would run into quite a bit of color. It's beginning to turn. Leaves are turning earlier than normal this year. Dry and quiet on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, and we are holding out hope that we can get a few showers on here tomorrow afternoon. We're tracking this area of low pressure off the coast, right off of North Carolina. This continues to lift northward overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning, and then it stalls off the coast of New Jersey. And unfortunately, it battles high pressure as it gets close to us, and that high pressure helps eat at what showers do develop and helps the dry air really mitigate those showers. Tonight, clouds begin to increase overnight, which allows temperatures to be pretty stable and mild. We're only going to get down into the mid-50s in Utica and Rome. By tomorrow morning, a couple of light showers south of Route 20. An isolated shower is possible across the areas of south of Route 20, primarily Otsego and Shenango County. Aside from that, though, unfortunately, we continue to see almost entirely dry weather. Clear skies tonight, lows in the mid-50s. I'll look at your 7-day forecast. Again, aside from a very isolated shower south of Route 20 tomorrow, most of us just see mostly cloudy weather. Pleasant weather settles in for the remainder of the week. A little bit cooler on Friday and Saturday after a cold front works through, but that warm weather builds right back in. We're right back up into the upper 70s to near 80. First day of fall, not going to feel like fall.
No. All right, James, thank you.
Still to come on News Channel 2 at 6. Time now for a first look at the forecast with meteorologist James DeFazio, and this is what we call a deficit map.
Yes, Eric did a lot of math today, and we've figured out that we have been about 50% shy of what we normally receive, not just this month, but over the last 60 days, over the last 90 days. It's 50 to 60% less rainfall than we average. What's shocking is that if we look at how the deficit looks for the entirety of the 2025 year, we're almost actually near average, and that's a result of how wet it really was at the beginning of this year. January, February, and May were just incredibly wet. Tracking a few things, clouds increase tonight, or there is a chance of a light shower on Wednesday, primarily across the southern tier. We're going to break that down, but for the most part, dry weather continues for several more days. Temperatures tonight, very mild. We're in the mid to upper 50s. Some of us still even hanging on to low 60s. It's not going to be a chilly night. No frost risk tonight. Lows only in the mid 50s as clouds increase. Coming up, we're going to break down that rainfall chance for tomorrow, as well as what to expect for your upcoming weekend. Jason?
James, thank you. New tonight, it was a
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Tuesday evening. It's a beautiful day across central New York, and it's been a beautiful evening. We've seen clouds begin to work into central New York, and that's going to continue overnight tonight. Not those widespread clear skies that we've seen several nights consecutively. It's going to be a partly cloudy night. The clouds have not reached Rome yet. Still 63 degrees with clear skies at Griffiths and Rome. Calm winds, a higher dew point than we've seen. Dew points up into the mid-50s. We've got to keep an eye out for some areas possibly of patchy fog before tomorrow morning. We continue to monitor drought conditions very closely. This is not up to date. This is updated each Thursday with information from the Tuesday before. So this is about a week old of data. We are in moderate drought across all of central New York. We're seeing a lot of drought conditions, and it's going to continue. It's a combination of a lack of rainfall. We're very short on rainfall over the last 90 days, but it's also been very, very warm. We've had a very warm summer, and that's going to continue as we head into fall. The last week of September into the first week of November continues to be very favorable for above average temperatures. It may make for some great weather to do some leaf peeping. The leaves are already beginning to change. A look at your fall foliage report. We have yellow zones where the leaves are the most, have changed the most. There's the most color across the Adirondack Park as well as over the Catskills, but there is some color across the southern hills. We can see some color on the Oneonta beginning to form. We can also see some hills if you take a drive south or north of Utica. You also encounter quite a bit of trees that are beginning to change. It's an early start time this year. Dry weather on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, and that continues until at least tomorrow afternoon. Hopefully we can get a couple of showers tomorrow afternoon. This area of low pressure works northward, but it encounters dry air and high pressure as it does so, and we're going to see very, very limited shower activity. Tomorrow morning, mostly cloudy skies, a couple of sprinkles across Otsego and Chenango counties, and these are the areas that may see a light shower tomorrow. Unfortunately, these showers do not make it much farther than Route 20, a couple of sprinkles from the Route 20 corridor and points southward, and then dry air completely settles back in. Tonight, lows in the mid-50s, a lot warmer, partly cloudy skies. A look at your 7-day forecast. Things end up beautiful by Thursday after a couple of isolated showers. 77 and warm Thursday, a little bit cooler Friday and Saturday in the wake of a cold front, and the first day of fall is not going to feel like fall.
Time now for our first look at the forecast. Meteorologist James DeFazio.
Talk about something a little bit more positive.
Fall foliage, it's that time, right?
We're getting there, yes. And this year, the leaves are changing a little earlier than normal. We're already beginning to see color, which is a little bit early for this time of year. We're seeing the peak colors right now in the Adirondacks and the Catskills, but that doesn't mean that you can't see color elsewhere as well. If you take a drive north or south of the city of Utica, and you drive up 1228 or go down towards Route 20, there's still plenty of color to be seen out there, and that's only going to continue to get more vibrant over the next couple of weeks. Here's what we're tracking for tonight. Clouds increase overnight tonight ahead of a couple of very light shower chances during Wednesday afternoon and evening, and then dry weather continues for several more days. We're still not tracking any drought-busting rainfall or even any significant widespread rainfall. Temperatures this evening very mild. We're in the mid to upper 50s, some of us even low 60s at this hour, much warmer than we've been at this hour over the last several days. It's going to be a warm night. 60 degrees with clear skies up in Rome, calm winds, and a dew point at 54 degrees, only a 6-degree difference between the dew point and the temperature, which means we're going to monitor fog chances. Coming up, we're going to break down the entirety of your forecast, who's most likely to see a shower tomorrow, as well as what to expect for your upcoming weekend. Jason?
James, thank you. New tonight, it was a...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Tuesday evening. It's another beautiful day across central New York with plenty of sunshine and warm temperatures. Highs got up to 81 degrees at Griffiths and Rome. And the one change that we've seen since then is cloud covers increase. We're seeing a little bit of cloudier conditions as a low pressure approaches from the south. But because it's coming from the south, those clouds haven't made it to Rome just yet. Still clear skies in Rome with 60 degrees. It's mild night, calm winds, dew points at 54 degrees. Only a 6-degree difference between that dew point and the temperature, which makes me think we will be looking at fog by tomorrow morning. Taking a look at our drought monitor around the state, this is going to be updated on Thursday. This is not up to date. It's only reflecting and showing abnormally dry conditions. We are in a moderate drought in central New York. We've received about half the amount of rainfall that we averaged since June 1st. We are seeing water levels dip to levels we haven't seen in many, many years. And we are going to continue to keep a very close eye on all rainfall chances as it is desperately needed at this point. Unfortunately, what has exacerbated this drought is how warm of a summer we've had. On top of the lack of heavy rainfall or widespread rainfall, it's been very warm, and warm temperatures continue. It's going to be above average for the remainder of September into the first week of October. Temperature trend this week, it's a warm day. It was a very warm day today, a little bit cooler tomorrow in the mid-70s, back up to the upper 70s on Thursday. Cold front works through Thursday night into Friday. 2 chillier days Friday and Saturday, but after Friday and Saturday, I don't think we'll have another day left in September that is below average in terms of the high temperature. Dry weather continues on your Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar and will continue at least until tomorrow. Hopefully we can get some showers tomorrow. We're going to break that down in just a moment. Around the state, there's currently no visibility issues. That will change by daybreak. Some fog will develop shortly before sunrise. This area of low pressure off of North Carolina lifts north and then stalls right off the coast of off of New Jersey. It starts to battle high pressure. It's fighting high pressure. It's fighting dry air, and those are eroding the rain showers that work in. Mostly cloudy skies to begin the morning with mild conditions, and again, a couple of isolated showers across Otsego and Shenango County. Unfortunately, that is the extent of these showers. They don't make it much farther north than Route 20. A couple of sprinkles from the Route 20 corridor and points southward. Otherwise, cloudy conditions for the rest of us tomorrow. Tonight, a mild night, lows around 54 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast, we warm up nicely again on Thursday up into the upper 70s with plenty of sunshine. And then we cool down, a little bit of a cold front for Friday and Saturday, highs back down into the 60s. Yes, Friday night's low, that is 39. Very, very cold night Friday night. But again, that warming trend returns. First day of fall looking very warm. Upper 70s, closer to summer-like weather.
So Friday night football, bring the jacket.
Yes, for sure.
For the first time in a while.
For the first time in a very long time, it's going to be a little bit of a
chill out.
Yeah, it's going to feel colder than it is.
All right, thank you, sir. Coming up next.